G'day and welcome to the first ever RetroTinker live stream on this Anzac Day Streamathon we're doing. We've got Jonny Sorensen, we've got Ronnie Trickshot, Frostbites, GIJoe, Repro, Shark Eyes, and Xazyl.
Full force!
Yeah. Today we're going to be doing a bit of show and tell to show off something that we either our favorite thing or just something that we're generally stoked about in our collections. So yeah, guys, welcome to the channel.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. This is great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Also, this is my first ever live stream, so if it looks like I don't know what I'm doing, it's correct. I don't.
Oh, proud to be popping what your cherry.
Yeah. So yeah, would anyone like to go first and show off something, or do you want? I could show off what?
Yeah, lead the charge, Nate.
Yeah. Okay.
Show us what you got, Nate.
Show us your survival skills.
Hey, that worked. All right. So this is my thing, my white tiger Zord from when I was a kid, and it's very yellow. Cool. It's little bit broken in places, but it survived. It's one of the only toys that that have actually survived my childhood, and it makes two noises when the batteries are connected.
That's cool. It still lights up.
Yeah,
That's very cool.
So yeah, and of course it transforms into a big robot with a sword that doubles as a tail. One of those things where I actually
where does the tail plug in?
What? Right in there. Yeah. So yeah, it's one of those things where as a kid, we only sort of got toys at birthdays and Christmas. We didn't generally get toys just because, and so it was a really good thing that when you made your list to Santa, I think that eventually we were cutting bits out of catalogs and putting in our list, right, like our letter to Santa, and then Christmas Day comes and you get exactly what you wanted. It's the best. It was the best feeling ever. Yeah, and I'd already had the original Megazord with the 5 different robots that combined together. So yeah, it was having that one, and it came with the white Power Ranger toy. So you had double the play from the one thing. It was just excellent. So yeah, so
I didn't get into the Zords that much. What's the big deal with them?
They're awesome.
Yeah, they're just
I'm missing out.
They're just giant robots that essentially fight kaiju, but were remarketed for.
How was I not into that?
Yeah, well, so you had your Power Rangers. They of course they morph. They transform into their their little suits or whatever with their helmets on, and they fight the baddies, and they almost inevitably end up defeating the baddie without too much drama. And then of course the baddie then gets supersized into something that can crush cities, and so then they have to call in their Megazords to pilot. It's kind of like a Voltron. They pilot them, and then they combine into the big one. And the cool thing about the Power Rangers stuff, that if you had enough of them, often your Zords were compatible with each other, so you could arrange them in different configurations.
Oh, that's cool.
Something I was never really able to do because I only had the original Megazords and my Tiger one. But once you sort of got beyond that, there was a Dragon Zord that would combine with the original Megazord set to make it bigger and bulkier, and then you could combine it with another one and just made it super massive. And I had a mate. He had a lot more Power Ranger stuff than me, but he ended up just last year or the year before he ended up giving me his old stuff that we used to play with. It was really cool, and they're up in the cabinet there behind me. Yeah, but anyway,
cool. I like that it survived your childhood. None of my toys did.
Most of my stuff ended up in the local rubbish tip.
Ouch.
Yeah, well, we had all our toys were in like one big box out in the sunroom, and there was a mouse plague, so it kind of got all filled up with mouse poo and things. So
yeah.
it's going, and literally he had it in garbage bags, and he left the room. I'm like, what can I save? So I'm like diving into I pulled out like the Xazyl and like a couple of the original Zords, and like I had one Extreme Dinosaurs figure that I got out of there before he came back, and I took him down to my room and put him in my cupboard. But some of my original Megazords did go to the tip, but they were broken by that stage because I was really pretty hard on the gear.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you got to save some.
Yeah. So that's my show and tell. We might as well just go around. Jonny, what have you got?
Oh, Jonny on the spot. Well, if they're going faded vintage robots made in Japan, I guess I'll go with this guy.
That's really
that's cool.
He's got a little message on there. His mate is our favourite because he's got little gripper hands, and I've had this since I was a kid. Like, it was on holiday for a bit when I left New Zealand. He stayed there for about 10 years, but one time I went back in my 20s and collected him. He'd been in the sun most of the time, so he's fairly yellowed. But he's got little battery compartment. Excuse the noise. And there takes like 3 relatively large batteries.
Yeah,
and Tommy did that whole series of robots that they turn them on, little button on the back, and they go and they roll around on the floor with the wheels. And he has a sound sensor on his, looks like a tail, that little thing there. If you make like a clapping or a sharp noise like that, he'll stop. And he does a little dance and twist, and like there's no batteries in here because it technically works, but the wheels tend to pack up with dog hair and cat hair and all that. And the head goes up and down like that, and he twists around, does a little shake like this. So it's not much of it. As a kid, there's not much to play with. You turn it on and it plays with itself, and then you get bored and go and watch TV or play with Sega or whatever.
Yeah.
What is this?
Years later, he looks awesome, and I love him. I've got another robot or so like this too somewhere else. And my sister
sounds like every dude, Jonny, gets bored and plays with himself.
Yeah, that's exactly. You're the expert on that. But yeah, they did a whole range of these. They famously, I think it was Pizza Hut, or at least in New Zealand, had the Pizza Hut ads where the big one actually had its own little remote control and it would drive a TV dinner tray in. But it did even less than that robot. It would just roll across the floor and hopefully not spill your Coca-Cola. And they just look cool. They don't do much.
Yeah.
Made famous in Rocky when he came out with his robot butler. What was that? Rocky?
They did that giant one. It was like 4 or 5. They had a massive one. Was it Paulie or whoever gets it?
Yeah, my toy collection. I started with robots, and I've got another. It's another Tomy branded robot that looks kind of similar to that, but it's a radio, and it like looks around and it flaps its head and as the music goes.
I've got another one over this side, different company, but it's actually got like a walkie-talkie. You talk into it, and the voice comes out of the robot's guts or whatever. But it also rolls around on the floor with wheels. I've
got one of those big the scooter robots. It's about 2 foot high. It is one of those ones that come with the tray, so like and it's got like a voice modulator. It had 2 different voices you could do, and
I found a good website a few years ago that had like a massive catalog of all those 80s small Tomy style robots, as well as other companies' ones. And it was a guy who also restored stuff, so he had videos of stuff he'd restored that was working in little video clips, and that was cool.
Awesome. That is an awesome robot. Thanks for sharing.
Love it.
I'm blanking on your name, mate. Is Aaron?
Yes, that's me.
Yes.
Just wait a second. I'm going to get it. It's just out of reach. Hang on.
I think he goes off camera so we can marvel at his collection. He actually does have it at arm's reach. He's like just showing off.
I caught myself squinting and trying to look at what's behind him a few times.
All right, boys, you ready for this? It's really cool.
I'm ready.
Cricket bat.
Well, I was kidding. It's my bat. But yeah. The Joe that started it all is my favorite. It was his dial tone. He was my first Joe when I was a kid. So
nice.
Please zoom in, Nate.
Yes, sorry.
Love
he
it.
looks like Saddam Hussein.
Now I'm not going to be able to not see that.
Yeah, that doesn't worry me. And I've actually completed the whole sort of line of dial tones just this week. So I've got the sound attack dude, the sound Sonic Fighters dial tone. So
nice,
in a nice blue and grey, and I've got Battle Corps dial tone, which is a little bit of a divergence, but the creme de la creme, it arrived just this week. Mission Brazil.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah. So I've got them all. Plus I've got Lenny's favourite here, which is mainframe dial tone, dial frame.
Actually, that works really well.
Yeah, I made this for like a kit bash competition that Lenny was running on his channel, and he called me very unimaginative. So thanks for that, Lenny. But yeah, dial tone was the first one I had when I was a kid. Used to run around the house when I was a kid with this guy. Cool. And he was the one that got me back into collecting. So when I saw the Toys That Made Us on Netflix and brought all the memories back, he was the first one I searched up on eBay for. And I thought, look, I'm going to get the 5 or 6 GIJoes I had when I was a kid. And here I am sort of 5 years later with...
That's the lie we tell ourselves.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
Yeah, I know. He was the one that started it all. He's a much maligned character, actually. I don't know if you guys have seen the episode of the Sunbow cartoon where Cobra thought it would be funny to throw a spanner in the works of GIJoe by mixing up the hierarchy. So they hacked the GIJoe system and they gave a number of GIJoes unwarranted promotions. And they put Dial Tone in charge of the Joe team. And Dial Tone's not much chop as a leader, so he's a bumbling sort of a character. And things went wrong for GIJoe after that. So
Relatable. When
I saw that episode, I was very disappointed that here was my first Joe. They obviously then went and turned GIJoe into a woman for the comic. So Dial Tone these days is actually female, and I have nothing against females.
Does she still look like Saddam Hussein? That's what I want to know. No, she doesn't. She definitely doesn't. But yeah, that turned her into a female, and oh crikey, I totally lost my train of thought now. I was going somewhere else with that. That was a very funny joke, though. If it comes back to me, I will. I'll let you know. But yeah, Dial Tone still my favourite. Will always be my favourite. He's the one that kicked it all off for me. So.
GIJoe.
GIJoe. Dial frame. Oh, does anyone even know? Does that ring a bell? Does anyone even know what a dial tone is anymore?
I miss the old sound dial tones, but I don't miss the old dial up.
Yeah. So
I like when they went to push buttons, but I like the big chunky buttons, not the stupid touch screens, and it puts the wrong thing in.
Yeah. Boo.
But go sport otherwise.
Yeah, go sports. Go.
Yeah. This is a personalized sticker. You like that?
Ah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Phil from Treasures for Trigger once had a cricket bag.
Yeah. It says cricket sucks.
That was awesome. Alrighty. Lenny, what do you got for us?
Something in plastic, surely.
I've got a unmute button for a start. Seeing as you bought the Zord up, I'm going to bring up what I purchased and received yesterday, which I find just amazing.
Is plastic?
A Leia Organa graded figure.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
So it's an 80, just a beautiful figure.
Nice.
And it was accompanied by a Farm Boy Luke graded AFA as well. Oh, UKG.
Yeah, sweet.
So yeah, got those two. But if we're going to talk Joes, just quickly, Shockwave just hits all of the memories.
That's
Just
cool.
love it. And a bit of this guy as well. And then I just can't go past these guys.
Awesome.
That's a handsome duo.
All right. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, cool.
Had to be something in plastic. Had to be.
I would do it for you, Aaron. If you didn't crap on about it so much, I wouldn't do it.
I like my things in jars.
You're breathing really heavily on that plastic, bro.
Yeah, some fog.
Ugh.
Oh, hang on. You've changed the quality now. He's not mint anymore in there.
That's it.
You're not mint, Ronnie. You've opened yourself up.
I don't think the quality was that good from the start, Jono.
I think Aaron's maybe come up with an OnlyFans idea.
Yeah, guess the movie, boys.
Breathing heavily.
He's a special boy.
He is a special boy. He's a sweet biscuit.
That was a vintage toy and horror movie in one there. That shorty just did.
I was more going for that car scene in Titanic.
Put the acrylic down.
It's orgasmic. Paint me like one of your French girls.
Oh my god. Anyway, over to me.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks, Adam. Thanks for bailing us out of that.
Yeah.
all right, I'm used to it. I'm used to it. What you have to do, stay on target. I've got a couple of
Stay on
things.
target.
I made a purchase yesterday because I noticed that these were like reduced from their $45 price tag down to $34. Thank you,
Did you get that
JB.
at toy, mate?
Nah, JB, bro.
Don't say JB.
Now, yes, these are a Marvel Legend. I don't normally collect these. And yes, this is from the Hawkeye show, which was meh. And this is the Tracksuit Mafia figure. Now, this figure comes with alternate heads. That is one of them that you see there. I don't know what the actor's name is. And you've also got this one here.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, and there is one more, but I'll get to that in a minute. But it also comes with some very cool accessories, which is one of the reasons why I bought it. And I'll start off with this lovely aluminium baseball bat.
That's the second bat that's been on this show, just saying.
There you go. We're talking sports, Aaron, and while we're on the topic, he comes with a golf club.
Golf club.
Nice. Casey
Nice.
Jones, eat your heart out.
Casey Jones.
Absolutely.
Cricket. What's cricket?
And he comes with a crowbar. And he also comes with a machete. And the piece de resistance, he also comes with a Molotov cocktail, which I can't hold up properly without. There we go.
So,
You know, I'll say this, Adam. $35 is almost what you probably end up spending if someone was making these sort of accessories available in a bag. So I think you did a good deal there.
You're spot on, Xazyl. You're spot on. Absolutely. And, you know, I bought these, because I bought two of these to kit out different figures. So these will be going to the Dreadnoks in the classified scale.
Yes. Brilliant.
They'll put a beat down on someone, as well as the Molotov cocktails. It fits their MO.
Yep.
But the figure itself also comes with a third head, which is this one. And I got these figures basically because I wanted like some terrorist-looking guys. So I just threw this plate carrier on him, which is from another brand, which will remain nameless, and gave him this little it's not a Mac 10, what's it called?
Mac Daddy.
No, it's a Tech 9. I think it's a Tech 9. Yeah, because I wanted something, you know, that was not a Cobra character per se, but could be used in a different way. So there you go. That's
Yeah, that's awesome.
the most recent purchase, which I'm crushing on at the moment.
Seems
but
like you got a lot of head for $35 there, mate.
certainly did, mate. Bang for your buck.
Oh, here we go. Lenny's back with the double entendres.
Yeah. It'll be Lenny with that one.
God.
But another thing I'm digging at the moment, after a little bit of tinkering with it, is this loadout for Dusty, which is from Gridiron Studios.
Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah, it gives him a whole different vibe, gives him a bit more extra kit. I did have an issue with the backpack peg not actually inserting into the hole. Giggity. But I was able just to sand that down a little bit, and Bob's your uncle. It fits. So, yeah, it's cool. It's got some nice little touches like, removable knife and removable radio. And, it gives him a different helmet as opposed to his traditional one, like the Legionnaire sort of style. But yeah, if you want a closer look at it, you can head down here, wherever the channel is, and check out the review over there. And
how much does that set you back for a full kit?
What was the price? Xazyl, good question. It was, because it's an older set from them. I'm just going to have a quick look because I can't remember exactly how much it was in US dollars. I want to say 25, but I could be wrong.
Well, it makes Dusty look $1 million, mate.
Yeah, man. It definitely, like all Gridiron stuff, it gives them a whole, sort of flips things a little bit and gives them a different look. Actually, I was wrong. It was 35 US for the set. So not cheap for us Aussies, but what are you going to do? We collect this stuff and use our disposable income on it. So,
true.
Whatever.
We know what we're getting into.
Yeah. That was some awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, Xazyl, you're up.
So when it comes to some of my favorite things, number one, it's not even an action figure thing. It's this hat. I love this hat so much. And I mean that with all sincerity. Space Commander sent me this, and I love it. I have it. If I'm not wearing it, I usually have it sitting right there, so it's in my streams with me. Space Commander is a good friend of mine, and to be able to have something that resembles or is a representation of my good buddy, it has to be top of the list. I do also have, speaking of good buddies, one of my best buddies sent me this guy, Sergeant Spikeor, which is from my mate Nate, the RetroTinker, who we are on the channel right now, with removable swagger stick. It doesn't have to be removable; it can just be extending. At his age, though, it's difficult to extend and stay extended. Just kidding, it stays in there. I just wanted to fit in, guys. Anyway, so the full video on how this thing was created is on this channel. You should definitely check it out. But it did, like Nate has said, I've got a love-hate relationship with Spikeor in general. Spikeor is usually for me. But adding my, and I know what you were doing, Nate. It was bloody cheeky, mate, where you took my favorite character and wrapped around him the enemy in Spikeor and gave him one flesh hand, which also would be great for Rob Vegas to give him the old thumbs up, Motu style thumbs up. But this is absolutely amazing, and it's not just that my buddy made a joke and sent the joke my way, because this is a representation of that running gag. But this is something that represents time and effort and thought, and so it sincerely and honestly is a very important part of my collection because of it. I can't thank you enough for that. But when it comes to GIJoes, first of all, thank you sincerely for that. I don't know if that came across as sincere, but honestly, thank you for that. Good. Some of my favorite Joes, if it wasn't already going to be, you knew it, right? The Sarge. Currently, now this is the Marine torso with the mail-away legs and the warthog-style head. And this has become my favorite version of Sarge, even though it's just a little part swap custom, because I spend a lot of time using this character for the Slaughterhouse Wrestling Championship. He's got a really cool pointing finger, which is good for when I'm making sure he's animated towards another character, making sure he's like, get in line, maggots. But I also, there were times where Sarge would wear something similar to this, a little bit similar in the comics, but more so when he was wrestling. He would, if he was doing the commentary on some of the wrestling and be sitting down wearing one of these, or doing interviews, he would look something similar to this. So it's a bit of a part swap. It's not an official figure. I do find that the arms seem to sit a little bit too low on the torso, but that's just the way it is. But that's one of my favorite versions of Sarge, and Sarge is my childhood hero. And lastly, one of the ones I've been having a lot of fun with is good old Belrog, the blue glove version.
That's
who's
cool.
coming to?
Awesome.
Yeah, it is. He's coming to the Slaughterhouse soon. But I've been playing around with this guy, and I didn't realize how much I would enjoy switching up from wrestling to boxing. But this guy, I mean, you got Big Boa with the red gloves and the Cobra symbol. There's also, I'm trying to remember which version just came with red boxing gloves with no tempo on it. Oh, I think it was this version, but the Street Fighter 2 version. This is the Street Fighter movie version, so that's why it comes with the blue. And I think that the blue really mixes up the options that you have. So it's not everyone gets red gloves. Difficult to find, but really cool. And I like this guy. Balrog. That's me.
Glovesless.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing. That was great. I'm just struggling with technology. Here we go. Yes, we're back.
Hey, there's the belt with the red gloves. Yeah.
It looks really good in the blue.
Yeah, he does. It looks awesome.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. Put up your dukes. Put them up.
I'm the champ!
There he is.
You ain't nothing, sucker. You ain't nothing.
Hey, Pepper Champ!
Round 1, fight.
Right. Yeah. Well, we've managed to do some show and tell. Does anyone have anything else? I've realized too. I've completely neglected the chat section. So anyone in the chat section, thank you for being here and watching and chatting away. I'm not too sure. Wait, here we go. Yeah.
Hey, there it is.
Going. Kiwi, thanks for hopping over.
I've been reading them. I got it up next to me as I've been reading it as it goes.
Aaron's brought up his learn to read section.
Yo, Joe.
Ken from Toy Connections, how you going, mate? Who else we got? Oh, Phil was here. That's a very good question. We were bit of
hang on
there. This lovely human right here. Adam was here. Hey, Adam, thanks for coming, mate. Rolando
Flores.
You got to roll the R.
Chat.
Rolando.
That's it. I can't do it.
Dino was here. Hey, Dino.
Thanks for coming, mate.
I think it looks like it might be everyone.
Good to see you.
Yeah, like Ken popped in, and also Phil popped in for a bit as well. But I think they were in between doing stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think this is a very successful first live stream, Nate. You should be proud of yourself.
Done beautifully, mate.
Yeah. Like, thanks so much for including me in all this. It was good. I at the start of the week, I had no intention of doing my first live stream. So,
It was very
it's been good.
Done well,
He's
mate.
very brave.
There's no super mutants, and we didn't end up in a vault, so I'd call it success.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, we've got about 5 minutes or so till we've got to jump over to Johnny's channel. The link is it's in the chat. That should be pinned at the top, or you can find the link in the description.
Mate, can you tell me about what's in your background, please? Is that a bit of Street Sharks onto your back right, and then you got Star Wars off to your left?
I've got this is one of my projects that I've restored as a ravenous ripster. His teeth like fallen out, and the top of his fin was missing. I'll go. The top of his fin was missing, so I rebuilt it and then just like made it a little bit custom. Another one of my videos. It's on my channel if you wanted to check it out.
Sweet.
Yeah, I had to repaint his chest and like bits and pieces on his boots and that. It was a pretty good project.
Nice.
It looks great.
It looks really good because they always flake on the nose.
Yeah, like the paint just wears straight off them when they actually got played with. So it was a really good project. I got another Street Shark here waiting to fix up too. That was
Do you have any of the dinosaurs?
I did just get half a dozen or so.
Nice.
No,
I just got one, that Stegosaurus from Extreme Dinosaurs of Phoebe.
Yeah. Just a couple of weeks ago, I managed to get a bulk lot. Like I've been looking for them for ages, and then finally got some for a good price. Like their prices are getting massive on those things. Street Shark's the same too, as they weren't as big over here. I don't think either.
It seems like the Street Sharks are becoming a bit of a boutique collection over here, I think.
Yeah, and like
What was that other one that you, Nate? What was that other one you were talking about the other day that we didn't get here in Australia? The Cowboys of Moo Mesa.
Yeah, Cowboys of Moo
Mesa.
Mesa. That would have been a cool.
Moo Mesa.
They're doing some modern version of that too, but it's like third-party prices.
Yeah, yeah. But,
And your turtles in the background, Nate, are they modern remakes or are they the actual OGs?
the carded one, there's carded ones right at the back there, just the remakes. They look cool, but everything else is original.
Yeah, right.
We'll send some close-ups of them real soon.
Yeah, we will on Johnny's channel. And I've got a small collection of vintage Star Wars here. The rest of that channel, that's all pretty much G1 Transformers.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And you got a Farm Boy Luke sitting there as well, I can see.
Yeah, that was actually one of my one of my early projects. Actually, I gave him a bit of a retro bite and a repaint and stuff because he was really haggard. Yeah, but he come up all right. He's starting to yellow again now after a couple of years, but
Looks great, mate.
yeah.
Now he's ready to meet a desert hobo.
I even managed to somehow I jagged it and managed to match the paint on his legs to that weird sort of greeny
Mustard style, yeah.
Yeah. This is a little custom thing of mine, the Marmalorian.
I love those guys.
Part of my Jarheads Action Jam collection.
That's cool.
Been working on. I made it as a silly gag for one of my videos. Just a I was just thinking, what silly idea can I come up with? Like, what sounds stupid? I'm like, action figure that's also jam.
Yeah. Do
Are they
follow
jam-packed?
some kind of mustard force or something like that?
Yeah, there's it's basically going to be like sweet condiments versus savory condiments.
Yeah.
The leader is the Baron von Chutney.
Yeah.
And I have a Sergeant Strawber.
Yeah.
That I've got to make one and send to Xazyl at some point. So like that's something I really want to keep going on eventually.
And I can see Schwarzenegger Last Action Hero just behind your head there. Is that right?
Yeah. He's I got him in a bulk lot ages ago, and I've got the back half of his trench coat thing that he's got, but I don't have the front half. But he looks pretty good on his own, and
that's great.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
And you got Is that original Ghostbusters there, like Spengler maybe?
Yeah. Is it Egon? Yep. Yeah. This one is something I got to play with. He's got the spots in his plastic.
He's got the measles, mate.
Yeah. It's something I wanted to see if I can do anything about it. Like, and then I was looking at, and peroxide might work. It might not work.
That's what I was thinking. A peroxide bath, and probably if it's any germs or bacteria or something, it'll get rid of it.
Yeah, well, apparently a lot of people think it's. I've read a bunch of different things now, and like some people think it's mold, some people say it's not mold. It's actually something like it's in the
Probably
plastic.
the plastic separated, isn't it?
Yeah. So if it is something, if it's mold, it'll work. If it's a lot of people reckon if it's in the plastic, you'll just get like white spots instead of dark spots.
Yeah.
But well, I can't really make it worse. He looks a bit weird, and worst case, I'll just paint him.
I reckon it's just leftover ghost residue.
Yeah, it's just ectoplasm.
Yeah.
But,
Nate, what's that white robot thing up above where Egon was?
That I only just got that the other day. He's a Soma Sonic Ranger or Sonic Man.
Okay.
It's got a soundboard in the back.
Emulation Robocop.
Is that not the sound of the bloody 80s or the 90s?
Borrowing a little bit from RoboCop there by the look of it with that head sculpt.
Yeah. So they
good with a
they started out as a direct RoboCop ripoff, and then they just turned them into Power Rangers knockoffs. Yeah, so like you could get a Sonic Ranger rather than a Power Ranger. Like, and how many disappointed kids got a Sonic Ranger? But I've got a real soft spot for these, and I've started collecting them.
Cool.
I just think they're great.
It's like an old model Cylon.
When you do the Tinker, mate, are you doing them to fix broken figures, or are you doing them because stuff's cool?
I'm trying to, well, a bit of both. I'll collect whatever I think is cool, but I'm always on the lookout for broken things to fix. This one was really broken. It was really haggard, and I restored it. I've got a video on this as well.
All right, cool.
And it was like the second video I did. So that cabinet there was mostly for second shelf up is like Power Rangers, and I moved my knockoffs up there, and then that shelf is just mixed chaos. Anything that sort of fits.
That's great, mate.
Yeah. What else is there? That's another thing I fixed up. Come on. I had to blue tack a lot of stuff in because it just kept falling down. This is another resto I've done.
Oh, yeah?
That looks flash.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really like just sun bleached. It was nearly white when I started. Yeah, so that was a really good transformation, and I
great video.
This is something I did before I had my YouTube channel. So most of I've gone in depth on Instagram on everything that I did with it. But like a little while ago, I did like a little clip video of the restoration, just like a couple of minutes, a little slideshow essentially. Yeah, I've got. There's that's another thing I've done. This no zone here. This hand I completely made that from scratch.
Oh,
wow.
That's cool.
Good job.
Because it was missing, and I made his goggles from scratch as well.
Wow.
Just because they're the price to get a set of goggles nowadays is more than you can buy 10 figures.
I don't know how you do it, man. You got some skills. I can't even scratch an itch. That is some
I'm honestly
real
just making it up as I go, man. I have no idea what I'm doing. It just sometimes things work, sometimes they don't.
That's very cool, man. I just subbed to your channel, so I'll just say on that topic, I've noticed that you're at 198 subscribers now. So if anyone in the chat isn't subscribed to your channel, bloody subscribe and get him over 200.
Yeah.
I put retro in, and I'm just getting a whole bunch of Air Jordan videos.
Oh, that's so annoying. When I first made my RetroTinker profile, like on Instagram, I googled RetroTinker. Nothing came up. A few months after I started doing it, then they released RetroTinker sneakers.
Yes,
That's YouTube. I got that crap.
Yeah, because like the guy who designed those shoes originally, his last name was Tinker or something.
No, I reckon it's inspired by you, mate.
It's his nickname.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So so now RetroTinkers. That if you search for that, it's all that comes up. It's shoes.
Yeah. All one word, Lenny. All one word. RetroTinker.
I was about to say that, Aaron. Yeah, all one word.
Yeah. And can you subscribe, Lenny? Because I want to be number 200.
Yeah, if anyone has jumped over from the previous streams, don't forget to subscribe to these wonderful people, and includes anyone on the list. If anyone's here just because they jumped over from my channel, I don't know why you would be, just from my channel when we've got all of these cool legends here. Do hit subscribe. We also do have Ronnie Trickshot's channel, so we can get him some subs too. And if he's got some subs, he might actually start doing some stuff over there.
I've just subscribed, mate.
In all seriousness, Nate, I love your channel, and I love you as a person, and I'm so happy to be here for your first live stream, buddy.
Oh, thank you. No, thank you all for being here.
Not just that, Xazyl. He's about to hit 200 once Aaron gets off his ass.
Just refreshing to make sure you're 199. I'm going to
unsubscribe and resubscribe so that I'm 200.
I just 199.
Oh, that's
Somebody
a lovely
hit the
thing.
200.
Lovely thing for Phil to say. Check out that last comment.
It still says 198 on here.
Refresh.
Yeah.
Jeebus.
I'm trying, but who cares? Who
Love you
cares?
too, Phil.
Yeah, love you, buddy.
Yay!
Yay, we did it.
Yeah, we did it.
We did it. Got those milestones. Woo!
Yeah, that's
You've earned it, buddy. To many, many more.
Phil, are we all big in Japan? Can you answer that, please?
I am. I've been.
You are not. You know who knows you in Japan? Are all the train drivers, because they go past you while you're trying to get to Phil.
That's not true, Danny. That's not true at all.
Thank you.
Yeah, but do you have one of these? This is the real deal. Autographs are a dime a dozen.
Yeah,
This is the real deal.
I don't even have one of those, and I made it.
I just like that. 200. I like the jar head that you got out. I can't believe Lenny doesn't have one. Lenny doesn't have one of them. He likes jars. Remember, he put his jar in a jar.
Well, right, just before we go, I'll get the other one.
Of weird sexual talk saying I'd put my jar in a jar.
Yeah, it's like docking in a way.
Oh Lord!
Wow!
Congratulations,
45 minutes, folks. Well done.
Wow!
Get me off screen.
Oh, look at this guy.
Baron von Shotty.
This is Duke, but spelt with a J.
Yeah.
Flag of the United States of Jamaica. And the best one. This is Sergeant Strawber.
Yo, Joe.
No good.
Oh no!
He's a prototype. Yeah. On that note, we should probably wrap it up. Thanks everyone for being on the stream. It was good fun. And we'll jump on over to Johnny's.
We'll see you at Johnny's.
See you there.
Migrate.